Bro, this is so unbelievable. Why is this happening? Why are we getting here and what's going on? How is it possible after making such a big mistake and literally waiting for 7 more years? Have we almost managed to repeat the same problem again that is going to lead us to a very, very, very long wait? So recently, you guys know that 2.2 got released. I'm saying recently because we're taking a look at a spectrum of like 10 years since GD got released. So yeah, at the beginning of 2024, GD 2.2 got released, a new update, which we have been waiting for since 2017, which is a very, very long time for us to wait for. But one thing that RobTop has promised us in the past is that 2.3, which is going to be the next update, is not going to take more than 6 months. That was his initial plan. So here we have literally so many times where RobTop specifically said 6 months. Like it wasn't like a year or sometimes 9 months. It was exactly 6 months. Here we can see in 2019. For 2.3, it should take like 6 months max. And again, he said that 2.2 will be stable within about 6 months, which to be honest, I have to completely agree with him on that one. Like it's been like probably now 7, like yeah, it's been I think exactly 7 months since 2.2 came out, and the update itself is really, really, really stable. Like if you compare it to the very, very first version of this, of 2.2, it was very, very buggy at the time, but now it is running really, really stable. You can make levels without the game crashing, and you can play levels without the game crashing or lagging. So it is really, really good, and that's been the case probably since 2 months. So already after 4 months of its release, it was already really, really stable. My initial idea for 2.3 is that I wanted to take like 6 months. I think 6 months update is a good target. How long are you aiming for 2.3 to take after 2.2? Max 6 months. So this is all like literally year after year. We are now in 2021, and again he said in 2022 6 months is the plan. And another final time he said that this was right at 2.2's initial release date, which was supposed to be in October. He said that he's wanting to do a bunch of hot fixes, which we are at right now, and then 2.21 with the missing features from 2.2, and then lastly we're gonna have 2.3 within 6 months, which should be a good target. Now, when I saw these messages, I knew that this was a very underestimated date, 6 months. I would have never thought that he would have been able to release a full update in only 6 months after working on something this big as 2.2 that took him 7 years. So to be honest, I expected it to come out at like beginning of 2025, like a whole year gap between 2.2 and 2.3. I thought would be pretty cool, and I thought would be really, really realistic, right? But now it seems like we have passed the 6 months. 2.2 is super duper stable, and now it seems like he is aiming at 2.21. However, one issue that I saw, which is gonna bring this whole thing to a completely different level. Let me show you. So if you guys have been around for a very long time now in the Geometry Dash community, you know that one of the reasons why RobTop took so long with 2.2 in the first place is because he was adding way too many features into the game. And in 2019, he has said that, he's no longer adding stuff, but he kept adding stuff because just the update got way too big and he had to, which is understandable. But now we're past that, and we have already done this mistake, so I would be a little bit surprised if it happened again. And it seems like it is, unfortunately. So 2.2 came out with a lot of unfinished stuff. A lot of blocks in the editor were really unfinished, and this guy Audio Visual showed RobTop that this is probably unfinished, and he showed him the full initial template. And I don't think we have these slopes at all. These were completely scrapped, as well as these really slick looking blocks. That's not a block, that's a box. And to be honest, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, these ones are pretty hot. This is pretty cool. Oh my god, I see the vision. Would you ever consider adding a second set of the translucent ones without the lines, textures through them? Would be probably easy, and he said yes, he's gonna add them in the next update. Now in here it is a bit unclear, because firstly he could mean that he's gonna add it to 2.207, which I think is a little bit very unlikely, to be honest, because he specifically said content update, meaning that it's gonna be an update where he adds blocks blocks, and so far we have known that every time RobTop adds blocks into the game, this is where it becomes a big update. It's no longer like a patch update like 2.207 or anything similar to that. Once that happens, once he adds like these blocks into the editor, we're gonna have like a new main level, new levels, new features, and all of that stuff. And my only issue here is that I do not want this to have the same impact it had with 2.2. I think right now we are at the perfect place to stop this from happening. It hasn't really happened yet. We have not taken the first step into this loop, this endless cycle of development of an update. And the initial problem as to why 2.2 took that long is because he was just adding new stuff every single time the community asked him to, and that had led us to a very, very long wait. And this time it could be very easily prevented. Like right now we are at July, yeah, we're at July of 2024, mid-July. So there's still time to stop this from happening so we don't enter this endless headache of a loop. And like I said, again, I don't have any problem with the update 2.3 getting pushed in 2025, maybe mid-2025 I also wouldn't mind, but I just don't want the same issue to happen, because if it happens this time, it's going to be a lot more than 7 years, because these 7 years he was basically stacking up on an update that was 2.1, which didn't take that long in comparison to 2.2. So now doing that again, you're going to be stacking up above 2.2, which took 7 years. So that is going to be a massive big issue. And especially now with 2.2, I felt like the editor, every time I open the editor, I feel like there's so many ideas that could be implemented. So there is pretty much endless stuff that he could add if he wants to go on that cycle. That's going to probably take like 20 years or something, which I don't want to happen. I think the only thing we can hope for now is that he stops adding stuff. Simply just finish what you have. You have a lot of stuff. Just finish that and we should be pretty good to go. And I'm not saying he should work faster or pressure him into, doing stuff really, really quickly so we get the update. All I'm saying is instead of adding a lot of stuff, just, shorten these things or remove a bunch of ideas and just stick to some simple ones. And once you finish them, just publish the update. Do not wait or add any new content into it. I think this would be a perfect place to basically sweep out of that weird cycle. And another thing we have here is that he said this thing is actually pretty cool. I don't think we have every single block in here. These ones have like different edges, and he said that he's gonna add a list of missing pixel blocks. He's gonna add them later basically, which I don't have a problem with him adding this or adding these things, adding what's it called, where is it again? Oh, these ones, the block. I don't have any problem with him adding these things. I think if he adds these guys to 2.3, it's absolutely no problem. But this is, I think, the very first time where he has been asked to add something that is quite big, like a block, because 2.211, if you guys remember, didn't come out with any new blocks, because like I said, when he adds new blocks, that's a sign that there's a lot more stuff going on behind the scenes, like a new level or something. 2.211 came out with the weekly demon. It came out with the group linking in the editor and a bunch of like really small things. So it was a patch update. That's something really, really decent. If you add these blocks as something into 2.3, it's also not an issue. But yeah, again, I have to say it is 100% acceptable and understandable if he decides to perhaps take a break for a month or two after developing 2.2. I like to believe that he did take a break with like a little bit of gym here and there and just chilling, after a long time of developing stuff, because at the end of the day, he's a human, by the way, so do not forget that. And he's carrying on this game for a very long time, and yeah, I just wanted to be here to make sure the issue doesn't happen again, because I don't think anybody wants that. Even RobTop doesn't, which is why he has said that he's wanting to make this 2.3 only take 6 months, because he indeed saw that it was a mistake that he didn't want to repeat again. And I'm just here to make sure it doesn't. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this situation. I really hope it doesn't get too heated and we don't get like a quintillion year, because okay, I'm gonna say this now, if he starts adding way too many things into the update 2.3, it's probably gonna be over. We're gonna have to wait for so long, or we're just gonna have to cut it off at some point and just publish stuff and stop adding new things. Because I think the issue is that he adds stuff, and then before he finishes that stuff, he adds new stuff. So now he has two unfinished things, and right when he finishes the first thing, there comes a third thing. So now we have a chaos, which is gonna be be a mess to clean up. And yeah, we don't want that. But yeah, massive respect to Rob though, for real. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to slap that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. I hope 2.3 doesn't take that long. Actually, I wouldn't really mind if we wait like 300 more years, bro. Come